It is August 24th, 2024, and you are listening to Sports Chowder with me, Sam Stebbins. Today I'm talking the Matthew Judon trade, a Celtics ownership rumor, an interesting Red Sox prospect, and more. As I've covered in a recent episode, the Patriots and linebacker Matthew Judon have been at odds over a contract extension. On August 14th, that dispute came to an end when the Patriots traded Judon to the Atlanta Falcons in exchange for a third-round draft pick. Of course, I am disappointed. Matthew Judon has been perhaps our best player in the past few seasons, and he would have continued to be a veteran leader on our defense, which is really important. That being said, if an extension was not reached, he would have been disgruntled, and we don't need that in our locker room. Now, I'm not saying he would sow division, but playing out your contract out of obligation does not often lead to great things. Honestly, I knew it was over after his confrontation with Coach Mayo at practice a few weeks ago. It's sad, but things like this happen from time to time. I also think a third-round draft pick in exchange for a 32-year-old linebacker coming off an injury is a decent return. So it could be better, it could be worse, but the bottom line for me is I hope these kind of contract disputes are few and far between going forward for the Patriots. Moving on to Week 2 of the NFL preseason, last Thursday the Eagles defeated the Patriots 14-13. At quarterback, Jacoby Brissett played the first quarter, finishing 3 for 7 with 17 yards. On our first drive, he went 3 and out, and then he threw a nasty end zone interception on our second drive. Drake May played the second and third quarters. He finished 6 for 11 for 47 yards. His first drive ended in a field goal. May's second drive ended with him rushing 4 yards for a touchdown, his first ever, which was pretty awesome to watch. Now, his third quarter was a bit rougher, but he showcased his arm strength even on some incompletions. Now, normally I would not be highlighting incompletions, but it is the preseason, and you have to see these silver linings. Joe Milton III started the fourth quarter. He went 2 for 7 for 20 yards. At the start of the fourth quarter, the Patriots were up 13-6, but the Eagles rallied. They scored a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, and with 2:25 remaining in the game, Zappe checked in at quarterback for the Patriots. Now, Zappe's time at quarterback came to a very quick end when a bad snap was recovered by Philadelphia, who subsequently ran out the remaining minute and 47 seconds. Now, I know it's just the preseason, but I still found myself frustrated with the choice to play Zappe. I really believe it would have been a chance for Drake May to lead a comeback and build confidence. I still like winning even if it does not count for the regular season. That's just me, you may disagree. Now, on the defensive side of the ball, we managed to sack the Eagles quarterback Kenny Pickett 4 times in the first half. Joshua Uche, Keon White, Isaiah Bolden, and Dietrich Wise Jr. are to thank for those sacks. The Patriots' preseason concludes tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Central in Landover, Maryland versus the Washington Commanders. The Commanders are 0-2 this preseason, and last season matched our regular season 4-13 record. Coach Mayo says he intends to name our Week 1 starting quarterback by Monday night, based on the offensive performance Sunday. Now, he may not announce it to the media, but he will make a choice. Personally, I will be shocked if it's not Drake May. I used to be more hesitant about starting a rookie right out of the gate, but he is our best option at quarterback, and there is no good reason to wait. Yes, Drake had to earn the starting job by performing well at OTAs, training camp, practice, and the preseason. I get that approach by the coaching staff, and I respect not handing the starting job to a rookie automatically, even if they were picked 3rd overall. There is a sign things are moving in that direction. May saw first-team reps with the offensive starters Wednesday at practice. I'm excited to see things are moving in that direction. Drake has loads of potential, and he can start a new era of New England football, given the opportunity. Pivoting to basketball, I just want to take a minute and recognize that both the men's and women's national teams defeated France to win the gold medal. The men won 98-87, although it did get close towards the end, and the women won 67-66. Team USA basketball makes me feel extremely patriotic, especially beating the French national team in their capital city. How cool is that? They're the host country and we beat them. And now yes, I really would have loved to see more of Jason Tatum, but no foolish choice by Coach Kerr could take away his gold. Maybe there'll be a different head coach for the men's team in 2028. One can only hope. And now of course, our Celtics on the national team made some history. Tatum, Drew Holiday, and Derek White are the first trio in NBA history to win the championship and Olympic gold in the same year. Now that is truly amazing. Now onto those Celtics ownership rumors. On Monday, Bill Simmons reported that he was hearing buzz that Amazon founder and executive chairman Jeff Bezos was interested in buying the majority stake in the Celtics that is up for sale. With his net worth of $198.5 billion, it would be quite easy to win the bidding war if he chose to enter it. However, by Wednesday it was made clear that Bezos has no interest in becoming the majority owner of the Celtics. Now, ever since the majority stake of the Celtics was put on the market, people have thrown out Jeff Bezos' name as a potential suitor. Personally, I just never bought into that. I don't think Jeff has any reason to buy a Boston team. He grew up in New Mexico, he founded and grew Amazon in Seattle, he has ties to DC through his ownership of the Washington Post, and he currently lives in Miami. Any of those places make more sense than Boston. And I don't think Jeff is such an NBA fan that he would just buy whatever team was on the market just because he is eager to do so. Even a team as iconic as the Celtics. For now, I am sticking with my prediction that Celtics minority owner Steve Peliglia will become the majority owner in due time. It's boring, but it's stable. Believe it or not, I want to touch on the Boston Bruins for a moment. I saw an article on Boston.com listing 5 potential bargain bin scorers the Bruins could sign, and I'd like to look at that list right now because those are names that should be watched in the coming days. The first name on this list is a 37-year-old right wing named Blake Wheeler, who played from 2009 until 2011 for the Bruins, but unfortunately for him, he was traded just before the Bruins won the Stanley Cup Final in 2011. Over the past 13 seasons, he has scored 812 points, which accounts to 262 goals and 550 assists over 897 games. Now, he spent last season with the Rangers, scoring 9 goals and 21 points over 54 games during an injury-riddled season. Now, he is the guy I most want to see back in Boston. Obviously, he has history with the team, and he adds some physical size to the Bruins. So I think he is the best possible option, and if he wants to come back, we should make that happen. Another option is Kyler Yamamoto, a right wing. He had a strong 2021-2022 season, but things have been statistically downhill since then. Still, he's only 25 years old, and he would be playing a supporting role for the Bruins. Another option is center Tyler Johnson. He is a 2-time Stanley Cup champion with the Tampa Bay Lightning, and he has scored 361 points over 589 games with that club. He may or may not be starting material, but he can definitely add depth to a roster. Another option is 35-year-old left wing Max Pacioretty. He is another guy who's gotten older and not as productive as he used to be. He's suffered some injuries the past few years, but in his heyday he had 6 30-plus goal seasons, and at this point he would be cheap to sign and he would add offensive depth. Finally, Kevin LeBlanc is a right wing who would be a cheap signing. He has shown potential in the past, but he has been stuck with the San Jose Sharks the last 4 seasons, and in a different city he might blossom, so he's definitely someone to look at. Obviously, these guys are not superstars. Even someone like me who is hockey illiterate can tell you that. That being said, they might make just enough difference to help the Bruins in the playoffs. And for me, that's what really counts. We've had some heartbreaks the past couple of years, and I would like to really compete for a Stanley Cup championship. We have gotten so very close to a championship over the past couple of years, and I'm ready for the pattern of heartbreaking defeat to be broken. So whatever gets that done, let's do it. Let's bring another banner to Boston. And now a Red Sox update. Since my last shows, the Sox have been swept by the Astros, won a series against the Rangers 2-1, split a series against the Orioles 2-2, and then won another series against the Astros 2-1. They have a series against the Diamondbacks at Fenway this weekend. The past 2 weeks have been a mixed bag, but I want to focus on some highlights. First baseman Tristan Casas returned to the Major League lineup last Friday after an injury in April and a rehab stint at our AAA affiliate, the Worcester Woo Sox. He is still in some pain, but he is performing pretty well, including a home run against the Astros on Tuesday. That same game, Jarren Duran went 4 for 4 and hit a tie-breaking homer in the 8th inning. Now, the last highlight is not news per se, but it is news to me. Now, I and many other Red Sox fans are aware of a big three of minor league players we are very excited about: Marcelo Meyer, Roman Anthony, and Kyle Teal. The big three were recently promoted from the Portland Sea Dogs to the Worcester Woo Sox. Many expect them to be promoted to the Boston Red Sox in time for a 2024 playoff run or at the start of next season. Now, apparently there may be another prospect that is very exciting. During a recent interview, Roman Anthony mentioned a Portland teammate, a guy out of Georgia Tech named Christian Campbell. He can play second base, shortstop, and outfielder. Most of all, he is known for tormenting pitchers. So much so that his teammates nicknamed him Barry Bonds. Now, if you're not into baseball, Barry Bonds was a left fielder who played for the Pittsburgh Pirates from 1986 until 1992, and more notably for the San Francisco Giants from 1993 until 2007. He was an insane hitter. He holds the record for the most career home runs at 762. Now, that sounds awesome, but unfortunately Barry used steroids, and for that reason he is very controversial. That being said, it's still a cool nickname. It illustrates a point about Campbell's ability. Since being promoted from Greenville to Portland, he has recorded 16 doubles, 7 home runs, and 32 RBI. MLB Pipeline ranks him 80th out of the top 100 prospects in baseball, and on Wednesday ESPN ranked him as the 55th best prospect in baseball. Now, as long as he stays honest in his methods, I am very excited about him. I hope he is on the Major League roster soon, and I hope he will torment many pitchers to come. Now I want to quickly take a look at the American League playoff picture. Right now the Yankees are number 1 with a 75-53 record, the Cleveland Guardians are number 2 with a 73-54 record, the Houston Astros are number 3 with a 69-58 record, the Baltimore Orioles are number 4 with a 74-55 record, the Kansas City Royals are number 5 with a 71-56 record, and the Minnesota Twins are number 6 with a 71-56 record. So there are 6 teams that can be in the playoffs for the American League, and the Red Sox are currently at 67-59, 4 games behind the Minnesota Twins. Now, the Red Sox' greatest threat to appearing in the playoffs, besides themselves, are the Tampa Bay Rays and the Seattle Mariners. Tampa Bay is 64-63, and Seattle is 64-64. The Red Sox have a shot, they just have to be resilient, they cannot fall apart at the end of games. We'll see what happens. I think we have the talent to make the playoffs and make a run. I'm not sure if we have the mentality to do so. Of course I hope we do, but we'll have to wait and see. And now, Assorted Awesome, the part of the show where I talk about something that is 100% awesome with no caveats. Celtics superstar Jason Tatum and childhood friend and former classmate Matthew Tkachuk throughout the first pitch at a recent Cardinals game. Now, I don't like Matthew Tkachuk. He plays for the Florida Panthers of the National Hockey League. They have tormented the Bruins recently. That being said, I think it's cool that these two childhood friends both won their first championship this year, and they got to throw out the ceremonial first pitch for their hometown baseball team. Now, I have family roots in Missouri, so that makes Tatum all the more likable. That being said, I hope St. Louis never gets a basketball team, because Tatum will immediately sign with them. I'm not exaggerating. He loves Boston, but St. Louis is where his heart is. And I respect that. I just don't want to lose him anytime soon. Now, I know a lot of my assorted awesomes this summer have involved various members of the Celtics organization celebrating this championship, and I will not apologize for that. Frankly, you have to enjoy championships for as long as possible, okay? First of all, to rub it in people's face, but second, because it's just so fun. To be the best, undeniably, is a beautiful thing, you know? You can have your stats and your regular season awards, but the championship is what it's all about. That's what we live for in Boston, and that's what everyone who really knows ball lives for. So no, I will never apologize for relishing a championship. That is all I have for this week of Sports Chowder. You can follow me on X at SteppinStweets, the show at sports_chowder. You can follow the show on Instagram at SportsChowder and like it on Facebook. Thank you so much for listening. I will return next week with another heaping bowl of Sports Chowder.